Hello crafty friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the first day of the sunflower collaboration. This collaboration is being hosted by myself and Esther from the Trucking Scribe. It runs July 29th through August 25th. There will be giveaways, everything, guys. So we have 10 people that are participating, and there's going to be over 50 videos. What each of the participants are doing is each of them are posting at least one video a week, making a page for a signature, a page like that goes into a signature for a junk journal, or like myself, a page for a mini album. And then also one piece of ephemera. Now I've left the option up to them to whether or not they want to include both the making of the page and the ephemera in the same video, or they can make two separate videos if they'd like. But we're using the hashtag God's Beauty and Sunflowers. This collaboration does have a Bible study that goes along with it, if you would like to incorporate that. If not, then you don't have to. I am incorporating the Bible study into mine, so I'll get into that in just a few minutes. So, but there's that, guys, and then here is a list of the participants. So if you want to take a picture of this and follow along, the only one that is not on YouTube is Janet Casey. You can follow her on Facebook. I will be putting up a link tree with everybody's social media info, so you just click on the link tree and just go down each week to find. But yeah, if you want to follow along with us and make, now me and Esther both have a kit for this collaboration. They are coordinating kits. So I've already I did a video a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even last week, that showed both her kit and mine. And then each week you will be getting freebies to go along with, that you can use to make ephemera with, or what you choose to. I will have to get that freebie for you. Give me a minute, guys. This is the freebie for week 1. I will have a link to this freebie in the description box of this video. And here it is. You get this gorgeous doily. Now I will show you in a later video what you can do with this doily. But you get some more fussy cuts. And then even more, you get a book page and lavender, because this, both the kits are sprinkled with, throughout the kits there are sunflowers and lavender, two of my favorite flowers. And then you've got this one, and I added some little mini doilies, so you get 4 mini doilies in colors from the kit. And this one can be put into a signature and used as like tucks on your pocket, on your page. And then you get this one, and this one. If you print this on the back of this, this can be used as a page for your signature. I will be showing you how to do that as well. But there's that one. And then there's this lovely greenery background. So this is week one's freebie. So let's get started, guys. So like I said, I am doing a mini album, and I just want to go ahead and show you the cover for it. And I kept this simple with just a few gem embellishments, but I did layer up. I've got one of the green background pages, I've got the purple gingham background page, and then on top of this beautiful page is from Esther's kit. And this is just a swing lock closure, and this, I left this loose so there is a lot of room to expand, as you can see, because this, I am going to be using this as an idea book. So all of the ephemera ideas that the ladies for this collaboration make will be put in here. I am also going to be taking pictures of the pages that they create as well, and I'm going to be printing those pictures off and putting them. Well, technically I won't be taking pictures of them, but you'll get to see as the collaboration progresses the pictures of the pages that they make. I'm going to be putting in here as well, so it's going to be like an idea book, also a memory book. And then here is the spine. So I used this piece right here is from my kit, and it goes all the way to the top to this right here. I am going to be making a tassel. I'll get it right in a minute, with charms that I'm going to show y'all how to make with one of the pages in the kit, and my version of the kit. And then that's the back of it. I love how this turned out, and I've had this cardstock right here is actually from like a scrapbooking paper pad that's like a baby themed. I've used everything out of it but this, and I finally found a use for it. But on the inside here, I just used some more of the I used some of the dictionary page digital, and then this is just held on with brads. I didn't think about this kind of closure until after I had already attached the paper to the back, but it's okay, it's mine. So, and then when you open it up, this is gonna have these right here is the spine, the hinges for the pages. So there's going to be 4 pages, and they will be packed full. On this side, I've taken one of the little tag die cuts that I did, and I attached it with a brad, so it's like a swing closure. And then this opens up to a large pocket. That's what this is going to be, so that I can store like scraps of the paper and stuff like that once the collab is over with it. And I've got the same thing here, except it's just the little swing closure is purple instead of that tealy blue, and it's a pocket. So lots of space for goodies. So let's just swing those back closed. And then on this side, I use this paper right here is from Esther's kit. This blue gingham is from mine, and this purple, not blue gingham, blue polka dot and purple gingham, both of these are from my kit. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this and set this to the side while I work on my first page. And here it is. Now, the pages for my, I should have wrote this down before I started. The pages for this mini album are 8 1/4 long by 6 1/4 wide. Now I will give you the measurements for each of these pieces. So This page right here is going to be the base page, and as you can see, when I didn't mean to attach these, but I did. But it's okay. I think this is the, oh yeah, this is the one I wasn't thinking when I was doing it to hold off on attaching all of the little interactive pieces on it, but it's okay. So I will be giving you the measurements for all of this. So this right here is going to be a little closure for the belly band. So it's like that. It's like a band closure. And it'll even, I made it a little bit longer than what the measurements called for, simply because I'm going to be putting pictures in this part. This is the waterfall. So in this band closure, the first piece right here measures, now when I'm doing these measurements, you have, each of these pieces has at least 1 1/2-inch tab on it. So whatever measurement I give you, like for here on the length of this, whatever measurement I give you, if you're following along and want to follow along with me, the length measurement for this top piece of the band closure, you want to add 1/2 inch to it. So this band, I did make it a little extra longer. So this band is 6 3/8 inches long. So I'm trying to do the math on that. You want to make the band 6 7/8 of an inch long, because you have to allow for that 1/2 inch tab. And it is 1 1/4 inches long. Now that 1/2 inch tab is right here. You want to come, once you cut the paper to the size, the measurement I gave you, once you cut this paper to the measurement I gave you for the length and the width, you want to come in on your scoreboard and add, you want to score it at 1/2 inch. It forms a tab, and you want to miter the corners, but it forms a tab to attach it to your base page. And the same for this one. So the measurement for this one is 3 1/4, well, no, excuse me, forgot. It'll be 3 3/4 inches long by 1 1/4 inches wide. You're going to want to come in and score it at 1/2 inch. And then I have this little, this is the closure for it. This closure measures 1 3/4 inches long by 3/4 inch wide. Now on this, and do not score the little closure part. What you're going to do is, once you cut it, you're going to bring it in, and let me move this up, and wrap it around this bottom band and glue it on the back. So it's about 1/4 of an inch on either side that you wrap it around and you glue it. Now we're gonna flip. I'm gonna get to the waterfall here in a minute, but yeah, as you can see, you got the safety pins on the back of these papers. It's from that baby book, that baby scrapbook paper book. Now, on this bottom piece right here, you see how this has got a different pattern than this. This bottom piece is 7 1/4 inches long. Like wide. You want to cut a piece that's 7 1/4 inch wide by 4 3/4 inches long. Now, on the right side, on the left side, and on the bottom, you want to score it at 1/2 inch. This forms a large pocket. And as you can see, it'll fit just on the page. So yeah, just remember, for the width of it, you want it to be 7 1/4. For the length of it, you want it to be 6 3/4. And on the right, the left, and the bottom sides, you want to score it in on each side at 1/2 inch. And then when you score it at the very bottom, there'll be like a square. You want to come in and miter each of these bottom sections, and the top, you want to miter it so that it doesn't, or at the top, so that those top pieces, you don't see that tab at the top, and at the bottom, so that it takes away that bulk. And now on your waterfall right here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So you're going to want to cut all 4 pieces to 4 3/4 inches wide and 4 1/4 inch long. Well, at the top of all 4 pieces, you're going to want to come in and you're going to want to score it at 1/2 inch. And you're going to want to come in and miter the corners of each piece. And then you to start placing the waterfall, you place the waterfall, the very first piece, at the top. You want to center it. I didn't do a good job on centering this, but you want to come in and center the top piece on your pocket at the very top. Glue it down, or use score tape, or whichever one you choose. Then take the second piece, you fold that down, varnish it, and you butt the top of that second piece up against the bottom of this tab. You're going to want to do the same. Now you want to make sure it's centered on both sides, and the easiest way to do that is you bring this piece in, you just gently place it, don't put any pressure on it to make sure it's down yet, and then you want to bring this top piece over the top and make sure that the sides of the second piece line up to the sides of the first piece, and you want to keep doing that with the third piece and the fourth piece, and it gives you this pretty waterfall effect. Now, the waterfall attached to the pocket is one assembly, and that's my piece of ephemera. So this video, I'm making my page and my piece of ephemera. Now with this mini album, this one's not made like a traditional one, to where you have a front of the base page, and then you have a second piece that comes over and that hooks up to the back, and they both form either a top loading or a side loading pocket. I'm doing this one different. So, but yeah, let's get started, because if I keep going the way I am, this video is going to be, I know it's already going to be over an hour long. So first things first, I'm going to start on my waterfall. And for that, I have chosen, we're going to do the front of it first. I've chosen these, and I have cut, these are cut to, they are 4 5/8 wide by 3 5/8 long. So this way is 4 5/8. This way is 3 5/8. You're gonna want 8 pieces cut that way. So I have this one from the kit. I have these papers that I'm going to show you briefly how to do this. And you've got this one from the kit, and you've got this one. I love doing these kind of papers, guys, because all this is just plain copy paper that I've taken a makeup blender brush and distress ink and went over it to create this gorgeous design. Now, to create this right here, I forgot to grab my ink. My ink pads. Uno momento. I've got everything stored over here to the side of me, so, but the purple is the Distress Oxide. The purple is the Wilted Violets, and the blue is Stormy Sky. Now, to create that cool, let me set my ruler right there. To create that cool looking edge, all you do is you take your ink pad and just directly on the pad. Now you just go around the edge, and then see how I'm actually coming on the page a little bit as well, and that gives it that cool, I mean, I don't mind about that, but yeah, that gives it that cool looking design. So there's the purple one. And we're going to do the same thing to the blue one. Again, coming over onto your page a little bit so that you carry on with how it's like that. I never really even played with the papers like this before, but I wanted something a little different, so I just started playing around with the Distress ink pads on the papers the other day, and I discovered, hey, that is cool. Lid's on upside down. So let those dry for just a second. But the way I'm going to do this is this one's going on the top of this one with just a little bit of a border, just a little bit of that cardstock peeking out around the edges. And then you flip it up. On this one, I'm going to put the purple. Same thing. Just a little bit. And actually, no, I think I want to do it different. I'm going to put the blue first. And then this one, and flip it up, and then this one. So I'll just put those back in order. Grab my glue, and I'm going to be using Fabri-Tac for this because it gives me a little bit more time to get everything placed versus my art glitter glue where it's like almost an instant grab. I don't want that on this. I want it, ooh, way too much. I want to be able to have a little bit of time for some wiggle room if I need it to get these placed where I want it to be. Trying not to get my head in the camera. Sorry guys if I get my head or if I hit the camera. Sorry. I done hit it twice. I'm just trying to make sure that I get this on here even. Whoops, definitely not even. There we go. Alrighty. Now on these blank ones like this is where I'm going to put the, I can come in and put pictures or little small ephemera pieces if they make, like if the ladies that are participating make smaller pieces of ephemera, I can come in and put them on this. with no problem. Again, I want to make sure I've got it even. Trying not to get glue everywhere. Onto our third flap. And I may have to, well, I know I'm going to have to refill my bottle of Fabri-Tac after this video, because I'm starting to run a little bit low. But I have been super excited for this collaboration to start. You have no clue how bad I wanted to come in and just go ahead and start playing and making this mini album, but I'm like, no, I gotta be a good girl. I can't do anything until the start of the collaboration. But as you can see on the back of these I originally started to do a junk journal for this collaboration, but like I said in previous videos, I've got somewhat of like a junk journal burnout, if that's even a thing. I know there's like a crafting burnout, but I don't know if there's like a junk journal burnout. But, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've done so many of them. I don't know, to be honest with you. But for the back sides of these, all I'm doing is coming in and just matting this coffee dyed paper from my stash down. I mean, you've got the darker side there, but I wanted to do the lighter side of it. And same thing, you're just going to place these like this, going all the way back over to your very first flap, leaving just a little bit of that showing. You really can't, once you get the papers put down, you really can't tell that it's a safety pin background on it. But I've had this paper pad forever. I used what I wanted to use when I did a memory keeping journal for my sister-in-law for her youngest. So, and I didn't use all the paper. So of course I just put it in my stash, figuring, you know, I might want to make another, you know, baby album again. Just never happened. So I mean, it's literally been in my stash. Let's see, Zayden is 3, so yeah, for over 3 years. I need to make sure that I'm actually applying glue to the correct side, because I almost applied it to the wrong side. But I figured, you know, I just only had just a few sheets out of it, and they were yellow. Ooh, they were like this yellow damask pattern, and then the yellow stripe, and I was like, okay, perfect opportunity to use up the rest of that cardstock pad. So and I really don't have a lot of cardstock. I have solid cardstock for die cutting, because I love using die cuts in journals and on ephemera and stuff like that. So I have tons of that. But like paper pads, not so much. I mean, I have a few, but I've used them a lot out of each of them already, so it's really just like pieces now. And so I need to catch Hobby Lobby when they've got another sale going on paper pads and stuff, so I can stock up my little sad collection. Because I mostly use digitals, so I love using digitals, and I love the versatility of, you know, if you run out of the paper, all you gotta do is go over to your printer and just reprint it, versus with a paper pad, if you run out of the paper, then you have to go back to the store to purchase it and hope and pray that they still actually have the paper pad. So, but I'm going to come back to decorating these in just a minute. Now, for this the top of my base page, the sides, and the bottom of the pocket, and the bottom of my base page, I'm going to be using these. So, for the top of my base page, I'm going to be using another piece of that. I think I've got two, like I said, I didn't get this pocket centered. So, yeah, so I've got this piece right here. This is from that dictionary digital that I have. And on the sides here, these are just scraps from Esther, scraps from the paper that I used on the front of my cover to do the plate, the book plate thing for the front of the cover. So that's going to be like that. And then here at the bottom, this is a piece of gingham. That's a scrap from that as well. And that's just going to go right here. And then at the bottom, another piece of that dictionary digital, like that. I'm trying to cover up as much as that purple where I boo-booed at. So, but yeah, I'm going to come in and glue down all of this. But you know, that boo-boo is my fault, because that's what I get for watching YouTube while I'm cutting and building the base pages. So it was my fault. So by doing this right here, you're also covering up where the flap meets the, covering up a majority of where the flap meets the overflow glue, where the tab for the fan closure, where that meets the base page. Dang it. You're covering that up as well. By the way, glue eraser I got from Dollar Tree. Love it. It works on glue stick and Fabri-Tac wonderfully. Does not work on art glitter glue. I haven't tried it on like the tacky glue, but I know glue stick and Fabri-Tac, it takes it off wonderfully. Now, if you were looking, if you got a good look at the participant list for this collaboration, some of the participants are well known. And then there's a few that are not, which is fine. Another thing I like about this collaboration is it gives exposure to not so well known social media, you know, creators. I got that on there. So, and it gives them a chance to grow their YouTube channels, and in Janet's case, her to gain more Facebook followers that she loves to share her craft with. Now that's going up a little bit over, so I'm going to pull it down just a little bit. And sorry if my head is in the camera, but I didn't want it to go that far over the top of my pocket. Ooh, that is glob of glue. Sorry guys. Ooh. The drawback, one of the drawbacks to Fabri-Tac, you get all sticky and goopy, and like I said, I am almost out of glue in my bottle, so that's not helping matters. That's making it even stickier and goopier. But yeah, I want to try to get it to where you can still see a little bit of the paper that I used on the base page, but not go over the top. But you know, I try to keep everything with a little bit of that border. I've noticed that since making the mini albums, I love just that hint poking up. Now come on, try to center that so that I'm not continuously getting my head. Now see, I don't mind that little bit. Get that glue off right there. That little bit of yellow showing, I don't mind that, because it adds a little extra something to it, you know. Alrighty, so there's that one. Now, in between, I'm not worried about this one because we covered it with this paper. In between the flaps, you see this. So I'm going to cover that up with these strips right here from the yellow cardstock like we used for our base page. And these strips measure, they are about 3/8 of an inch wide by 4 3/4 long. And if you have this right here, if you use one large piece of paper to cover up the bottom part of the pocket, then you only need 3. If you don't, then you'll need 4. And then these are simply just going to come in here, and they're going to sit like that. Make sure you've got it even on both sides, side to side, and then that's what it's going to look like. So I'm going to put this down with my glue. Making sure to stay away from your score line. You can put it right up to the score line, but don't put it into the score line, because if you do, your flap's not going to close properly. So, and mine is good. So that's the first one. Flip it down, and the papers actually make like the pages stronger, because I mean, this is not a thick cardstock like you would get from like American Craft or something like that, or even like Ciao Bella or 49 and Market, or you know, somewhere like that. It's not a thick cardstock. So, but the kit papers actually thicken it up a little bit. Now you see how I've got that a little bit too high into my score line, so I want to pull that down just a little bit. Yeah, now I have a little bit more, and you'll know you've got it too far into your score line when you go to close, when you go to pull the flap down and you start meeting a lot of resistance. Then you know you've gone into the score line and you don't want that. You want it just right up to it, but not into it. If you understand what I'm saying. And then here's the last one. Making sure I'm even and not into my score line. And no glue. Perfecto. Yep. Nice. But yeah, you see how it's going right up to the score line, but not actually going into or over the score line. And I got glue right there. And this even gets up dried fabric tack, which I love. See, no more fabric tack. So, but there you go. Now I'm going to do my band closure pieces. So on the inside of each of the bands, again, I am going to use my coffee dyed paper. This is going to go here, making sure you stay away. Ooh, and you are longer than what I thought you were going to be. So, if you have that, now you want to stay away from your score line. And I'm going to pull this down. I cut this too long. So I will come back in and just mark on either side where I want it, where I need to cut off. And see, I've got the 2 marks right there. And then I will just come in with my scissors and remove that excess. Now, I also did not round my corners either. So I do need to come in and, well, see, my paper cutter is starting to get dull. My corner rounder. So and I think I used the wrong corner section on it. I did, but it'll be okay. But yeah, I've tried the foil trick and all that, and it's not working. So now you want to remeasure when you have to do something like that. You want to remeasure, and yes, see how I used the wrong corner rounding section, but it'll be okay. So now, there you go. On this piece right here, it measures, since I trimmed it, it measures 6 1/4. Do not score it. By 1 3/16. Now the width on both of the, both the one for, this is the one for the bottom band, this is the one for the top band. The bottom band is going to measure 1 3/16 wide. And let me make sure it fits before I give you that measurement. Nope, I need to trim this one just a little bit too, which is okay. Trim that little bit off. Now, remember 1 3/16 wide by 3 3/16 long. And my fingers are all gluey. So again, we're going to come in with our glue. and attach the back covering to our bands, staying away from the score line. You want to go up to the score line, but not into the score line. And then now I'm going to do the same. Let me show you. See? That's what it'll look like, and you got just a peek of the paper showing from underneath. And I'm going to have to re-give you the measurements for the width of the base page anyway, guys. I forgot to tell you to allow for the... I forgot to give you the measurements that included the half-inch tab. So give me a second and I'll re-give you that measurement. Get this centered. If you got any glue going over, whoops. Oop, nope, stay. Make sure you get it off. And again, going up to the score line, but not going into the score line. There we go. There's the inside of our band covered. Now let's do the outside. These are scraps. These are from Esther's kit. And these measurements are going to be the same as the backing page measurements. So, which I've got to remove some of the paper because it's too long. I'm going to just remove where that black line is at and actually use the correct corner rounder this time, because that's about as much as that I'm over. Just right up to that black line right there. Get that off. And I know if I'm over on that one, I'm going to be over on this one. Oh, lordy, I am like way over on this one. So I'm just going to go to like right up under that black line. Just right up under this black line right here. So I'm going to do it this way so that I can see. So yeah, about right there. And let me measure, see? Yep, perfect. Perfecto. Okay. And I'm going, this one goes this way. And on this one, it goes this way. So I want to turn, no, I want that one to actually show. So I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to do, because I want this to be above the little closure part. All I'm going to do is I'm going to line both of these up corner to corner. I don't know why I put that back up for. And I want the 4mm punch. There we go. This one's going to be a long one, guys. I may not be able to get to the second part of this page ensemble, but I know I'm going to get to the back. I'm probably just going to do the front of this page 1 and then the back of page 1. So, and then this will slide right down like that. So you get just a little of that peeking over. And then for my closure here, I have this little bitty piece, and it measures 1 1/8 by, I'm going to come up to here, 7 7/16 of an inch. So 1 1/8 inches long by 7/16 of an inch tall. And that will go like right there. I wanted that just to be just a hint, so that the yellow frames it almost like a buckle. That's the look I was going for. So, but let's get this glued down. But yeah, each of the pages has it's a 2-part page, and you'll see what I mean. So we have this page, and then there'll be another page that goes in behind it, and that one I'm probably gonna have to do a second video on. Just simply because of the length of this video, and I should have known, because this was like my intro video telling y'all about the the details of the collaboration and all that. I should have known it was going to take a little bit longer than one of my normal videos do, but it's okay. So you got that, and then now this top piece. Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on here. Yeah, I am most definitely going to have to refill my Fabri-Tac probably a couple of times during this collaboration. And now you just want to put that at the bottom, making sure when you put it on that you're not going over the top of this band, that you try to center it as much as possible, especially making sure where it touches the bottom and the top here. I'm just going to press that down and flip that up. And I'm going to flip this back in, and now this piece right here, well, actually I showed you the wrong piece, guys. That was for what I cut. This is actually the piece that I wanted that goes right here. I was wondering when I was telling you why the piece didn't look right, but now I know why. I was showing you the wrong piece. I was showing you the cutoff from, I think it was that top piece. And then you're just going to center that on that little closure right there. Now I'm going to come back in, holding that piece down, come back in and get all this extra glue up right there. Ooh, and you moved. There we go. And when you go to close it, these two this just slides right in like that. And it is a snug fit so that it holds this down. And it keeps whatever's in, like any ephemera or pictures, it keeps them snugly in place. So let me go ahead and remove this. Now, for right here, I'm just going to keep the decoration simple here. I'm going to take and put edging on all 4 of these little flaps. And this is what I have. This comes from my Tim Holtz die set. So I've cut 2 out in light purple and 2 out in yellow. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to layer them like this. So this one will be here, there'll be a yellow one, a light purple, and a yellow one. And then I'll just cut off the excess on the sides. And because that is a messy tip and I am almost out of glue in that bottle, I'm just going to use my art glitter glue, And to make it easier on myself here, I wouldn't normally do this. Normally I would come in and I would add it to each individual piece on the die cut, but I'm not today. I'm just going to take this yellow one and now center it as best I can. Right there is good. Now, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing this, I want to try to get it lined up along the bottom. So you see the edge right here, get it lined up along the bottom of the page, and then I'll come in once that's dried a little bit more and cut off those edges. So my next one is going to be the light purple, and I'm just going to do the same thing because that surprisingly worked without getting glue everywhere. Again, I'm going to be lining up this part of the die cut with the bottom of the page, trying to keep it spaced just like I did here. I'm using the yellow one at the bottom. Ooh, no. I'm using the yellow one at the bottom as my guide. So there we go, to make sure I've got it as even as possible on both sides. Looking good, looking good. I come back in on this one, and I'm going to be using the yellow one. Again, using the one below it as a guide for the evenness. Well, this, making sure that it's as centered as possible. There we go. Looks like a little bit too much to the left on that one, but it's okay. And then my top one right here is again going to be that light purple, and I'm going to try to get it back over to the right a little. So I have to keep that in mind, since I didn't get this yellow one even as I wanted it to. I've got to keep that in mind when I'm placing this one. Ooh, placed you too high. Now come on now. Yes, I'll get it over just a little bit more on the right. Well, to the right. And lining up that with the bottom of the page, or the waterfall flip, and pressing down. But there we go. Now, it will probably be easier for me to flip this over so that I can see the edge of the page. I want to keep it, I want to get it even, well, as even as I can. Go for it, woman. Not quite as even as I wanted it. I'm trying to hold it up to see so I don't get my big head in the camera. And it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. There we go. That one's a heck of a lot more evener than the other one. Now, and I've learned with like the waterfalls, when you do this right here with this lace, you see how I've got my holding on to this second page right here. I'm holding onto it and lining it up with this, the edges of this page, so that I can see and make sure I got it even. Now, since I didn't get that yellow one even on the right side, I want to make sure I'm cautious on how I cut the purple one. See? It's a lot better. There we go. And then the next one, I'll just do the same thing. move you up. I'll make sure I grab a hold of the one below it and just let that top one flap over the top of it, keeping my sides even. You get back up there. Keeping my sides even, and use that as a guide for me cutting the die cut, so that I get them as even as possible on both sides. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do the back side of this page today, guys. Well, not in this video anyway. My camera's about to die. And the last one. Now this one may be a little bit trickier because the page above it wants to fall. So, but yeah, the same concept. Making sure both sides of it are even. Ooh, and you are definitely not even. There, but I got that purple one even. Don't ask me how I accomplished that. And I can see right now I'm going to have to see my pages are not, they're not even with each other anymore, so just adjust. And I am going to have to come back in on this purple one and add a little bit more glue to the side because it's not fully glued. Let me just move all those off to the side. Yeah, see that side right there didn't, apparently I didn't either get the die placed in time or I didn't add enough glue. But there we go. And that's how it looks, guys. So you just flip it up and you have a place to put a photo on the back of each of the flips. You have a place to either put a photo or some ephemera. And same thing here. You got 3. So this waterfall flip will hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photos. You should be able to do ones that are about, let's see, I would say you can do ones that measure 4 by 3, or you can even do a, you can't do a 3 by 4. You could do a 2 by 3 here, like a wallet, and then have journal space over here, or vice versa. Either one, and then you can actually come in with a photo mat, with a photo, if you want to mat, have like this as your background, and just to the bottom of this pocket you can add a photo mat, and it would be able to hold a photo. Two 3 by 4s, because this length right here is like almost 4.5, and then this one right here is a little over, it's like 6 1/4 inches wide. So you could add a 3 by 4 photo here, a 3 by 4 photo here, and still have a little bit of room. You still have like an 1/8 of an inch around. You understand what I'm saying? And then, you know, you can come up here and add like a journaling spot if you wanted to for any of it. So, but I'm still going to come back in and decorate a little bit more with the fussy cuts later. Well, I got glue crusties everywhere. But that is everything for this video, guys. And see, it just closes up like that. The next video will be where I come in and I decorate this. Oh yeah, I need to give you the correct measurements for the width of this, of the base page. This base page. Each of the base pages, you will have 4 base pages that are this size, and then you'll have 4 base pages that are a different size. And I'll show you that in the next video. But this is when you go to cut your cardstock, or your base page, the first one, you're going to want to cut it to 6 3/4, and then on the left hand side of that page, you're going to want to score in a 1/2 inch from top to bottom. And when you fold it over, it'll give you the measurement of 6 1/4. But you got to add this because this is what's going to attach our page to the mini journal. So to cut the base page, this base page 1, you're going to want to cut it to 6 3/4 by 8, I think is what I told you earlier. No, 8 1/4. So 6 3/4 coming across here. 8 1/4 is the length. And on the left hand side, you want to come in and score 1/2 inch. And when you fold this over, it'll give you a final base page of 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. So, but that is everything for this video, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, crafty friends.